Did you ever make propaganda newsreels for the enemy?
Yes, I did.
Look, Major, I've already advised you of your rights to counsel, so I suggest you get a lawyer before we proceed any further.
I don't want a lawyer. I just want to get this over with as quickly as possible.
Don't you realize you're being accused of treason?
Yes, I realize that.
And you still want to confess without consulting a lawyer?
Well, why not? I'm guilty.
Of everything?
Yes, of everything.
Including making newsreels for the enemy. Major, why are you trying to hang yourself? Why do you confess to something that you didn't do?
Because, as I told you before, I want to get this over with as quickly as possible. Well, now, would that be all?
No, not quite. The Army not only wants to know if you did these things, but also why, so sit down. Well, Major?
Well, what?
Why'd you make those broadcasts, give those lectures?
Because I had no choice.
Does that mean you were tortured?
Yes.
How?
Just tortured.
Well, they must have done certain things to you. What?
Well, they put me in a hole.
What was it like?
It was just a hole scooped out of the ground, covered up with boards like solitary confinement.
How many times they put you in the hole?
I don't know, 9, 10 times maybe. I don't remember exactly.
And that's what made you break?
Yes.
The day you broke, they put you in the hole that day?
Yes.
The day before?
Yes,
The day before that?
Yes,
the day before that?
Yes.
That's a lie, Major, and you know it. I've got the testimony of 14 witnesses here who deny you were in the hole on any one of those days. Now, what are you trying to do?
Look, what do all these details matter? I told you I'm guilty. That's the important thing, isn't it?
You want to make any statement at all in your own defense?
I do not.
Well, in that case, there's no point in prolonging this, is there?
None whatsoever.
Oh, just one more thing, Major.
Today on our English language news broadcast, we have an interview with an officer of the United States Army. The truth he speaks will be of interest to all Asiatic peoples. I will now ask questions. Who are you?
I'm Major Harry Cargill.
What's
In which
the point of
army
this?
do you serve?
I want you to identify these voices
So
for me.
that those who listen will know that this is the truth. Tell us your serial number.
My serial number.
That's my voice, okay?
94323.
Who's the interrogator?
Now, Major, before you were captured,
Colonel Kim, Commandant of Camp GG. Now, if that's all,
That's not all. I thought you'd like to listen to the entire transcript, Major.
so you were with a bombing squadron. What was purpose of squadron?
To drop bombs.
Look, couldn't we do this some other time?
We've got to do it now.
What kind of bombs?
Bacteriological.
You mean germs? Deadly germs?
Yes, germs, deadly germs.
American airplanes have dropped deadly germs on innocent, helpless
Turn it
Asiatic
off.
peoples of Korea. United
Please.
States has engaged in germ
Turn it
warfare
off.
against the people of Asia. That is so?
Please turn it off!
What is so, Major?
The United States engaged in germ warfare against people of Asia.
Swear on your honor as an American Army officer.
That'll be all, Major. But you'll be called back tomorrow. Your testimony's interesting, but incomplete. You'll find that simply saying you're guilty is not enough.
You don't understand. I am guilty.
Hey, there's no pay for overtime in the Army.
Well, I thought you'd want Cargill's testimony as soon as possible, sir.
Yeah, I do. Come on, let's get out of here.
Baker been putting the pressure on you, too?
What do you mean?
About what a special case this is.
Oh, no, sir.
No lectures about what Baker thinks, Fleischacker thinks, the general thinks?
No, sir, why?
Nothing. But just understand one thing, Evans. This is no different than any other case in this office.
Yes, sir. What's the matter?
I'm sorry, but I can't go with you. I've got to go back.
That overtime?
Yeah. Good night, Evans.
Did you see this?
What's the matter? You been here all night or what? Well, what's the matter? What happened? What's the matter?
What's the matter?
Take a look at that.
What about it?
What about it? That is an order from the general.
Well, one thing for certain, it's not an order from any sergeant. Sergeant.
Oh, come on now. No jokes. Look at that signature, will you?
Signed Joseph Connors, Lieutenant General Commanding.
Now, just any order would be signed by his adjutant, but when the general signs the order himself, that is significant. That's really significant.
In view of the backlog of work which has been observed in some divisions of this headquarters, it is directed that all accumulated work be completed with efficiency and dispatch.
With efficiency and dispatch. Now, I'm telling you, the colonel is in trouble.
Think this is really directed at the colonel?
Well, now, the only way the old man can make it any plainer would be to put up a neon sign saying, "Don't waste time on the Cargill case."
Sergeant, I think you're jumping to conclusions.
Am I?
Hey, wait a minute. You can't do that.
I know.
That's an official document.
I'll bring it back. I'm just going to check it with Fleischacker.
Check what with Fleischacker?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Just want to make sure it didn't get mislaid, sir. That's all.
I'll bet.
Maybe now you believe me when I tell you that the general is still working.
Baker, will you get me some coffee?
Sir, what about the
Just
memo?
coffee, Baker.
1 or 2 donuts.
Just coffee, Baker.
Coffee. Just coffee, Baker. Coffee, Baker.
Baker says the general really meant that memo for you.
Baker says. Baker and Confucius seem to enjoy the same standing around here. We will proceed on the assumption that this memo is exactly what it appears to be, a general order to spruce up the entire post.
Yes, sir. We will proceed on the assumption.
Well, if the general had wanted to say something, I am sure he'd have come right out and said it.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me.
It's all right, sir. I know you must be tired.
I'm sorry, Evans.
They didn't have any donuts.
Are you finished with these, sir?
Yeah.
Baker, will you take these to the library?
Yeah.
Techniques used by North Koreans to indoctrinate United States personnel. Well, psychology of brainwashing
All right,
methods.
Baker.
I didn't say
Just
anything.
take him back, then go down to the carpool and get a car.
Are we going somewhere?
Yep, we're going somewhere. Mrs. Cargill?
Yes?
I'm Colonel Edwards, investigating
My
officer.
husband's on his way to your office.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm here. I'd like to talk to you. May I come in? Well, you're much younger than I expected.
I'm 32.
You don't look it.
I look it.
Mrs. Cargill, I know how painful all this must be for you, but unfortunately it's necessary. I'm here because I'm trying very hard to be fair to your husband, to give him every chance. But I can't do it alone. I need help.
How do you expect me to help?
Believe me, I'm not your enemy, or your husband's. But you must know he's facing serious charges and he refuses to defend himself.
He refuses to defend himself?
Didn't you know?
No.
You really didn't know, did you?
No.
Well, can you think of any reason why he won't defend himself?
Have you come here to ask me to appear as a witness?
Yes, I have, because I think there's more to this case than we can see. Now, if you're afraid you might betray him or might hurt his chances in any way, just let me say that things couldn't be any worse for him than they are right now.
What are you going to do to him?
On the strength of what we've learned, I'm afraid he'll get the limit. So you see, Mrs. Cargill, you can only help him by telling everything you know.